the world that we live in, man. You know, while you fighting for one problem, another problem pops up. It's like, you know, a doctor got to be able to focus on one thing at a time. You can't do two surgeries at the same time. We focus on the heart right now. We focus on the brain.
I don't want the optometrist working on my heart right now.
Yeah, and then while you working on your heart and brain, somebody else come in and be like, yo, we got some issues out here. Like, bro, listen, y'all handle those issues while we handle this right here. We in the operation right now. I need steady hands. I need sound minds. I need clear thoughts. Please don't come and disrupt us right now. Right. When I'm done with this, I will come and help assist. How you know I will? Because this is what I do for a living. Right. Black people, we social warriors for a living. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said I'm going to regret what I say. And this is how you... See, this is when you become stupid. You know what I'm saying? This is when you got to go. Now, this is when you become like an oppression warrior. And listen, I don't care. I'll be standing up for all peoples. Not all peoples. That's cap. I'm talking oppressed peoples. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep it a buck. I'm not one of them all lives matter brothers whatsoever. You know what I mean? We definitely be on God mode, but I definitely stand up for the oppressed peoples. I'm just not about to stress myself out at the same time. You feel me? You have to take the support that you get, and we continue to move. You feel me? But anything else, man, you can't force your fight on me. I'm already in the fight.
Why are you spamming? You just come in here spamming.
Yeah. Make no goddamn sense, boy. You want some allies, you feel me?
Yeah, you gotta build.
You gotta grease you feel me? You gotta learn how to network a little bit, man. You can't come here, you guys gonna regret not saying nothing at 10:30 p.m. Bro, relax.
Right.
Relax. Take a seat, man. Take a seat. You know what I'm saying? We got hella issues on the table right now. We already had that on the agenda, though.
Right.
I like your passion, but sit your ass down in the back. This ain't your meeting right now.
Right.
You feel me? All right. Now, what's going on in Chicago? What's going on in the Congo? What's going on in Somalia, Uganda? You know, what's happening with Palestine, man? Let's free them people.
Yeah, free the people, number one. But like, I'm on Spanish.
Yeah, man, we've been suffering. Black people been suffering, and ain't nobody goddamn care. So I'm just saying, do not try to trigger black people with, you know what I mean, trauma responses. That don't work. You feel me? We've been suffering, and the thing about black people in America is, when we go through our bouts, people don't care on a daily basis. You feel me? Like, black people I think, are the best allies in the world. We be fighting for and with everybody. We always do. That's just how we are. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we are. We always fight. We stand up. We tell the stories. We teach the history. We educate the people. We march in the street. We give our money, our blood, sweat, and tears. We put it in our music, our songs. Right? We always fight that good fight. And when we see our people on the wrong side, we fight against them. That's how solid we are.
We've literally been put and used in every war. In, I don't know, I imagine history. What war haven't we been used in? I'm talking about since ancient Rome, bro.
Everyone.
Greece, Rome, Spain, England.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Asia, India.
Just make sure that all the Afro-Asiatic people of all ethnicities and places on this planet Earth get they just due. Because listen, while I'm free Palestine, I want to make sure that the Afro-Palestinians, same way, you know, the Ethiopians, Jews, right? Get they just due and they love, because by every measurement and every people are always racist to the darker skinned people of their kind. And we got to stop that bullshit. You know what I mean? And unless you have to deal with that simultaneously at the same time. Now, Palestine, they got Gaza open air prison, man. What they doing over there, killing them babies, is crazy. So we gonna always be against that, because that's just evil. You know what I'm saying?
Well, just the whole setup of, like, at the end of the day, Israel just got there. They were just planted there.
Yeah, man, they just came in apartheid, genocide. That's all they came to do. But black people used to that. That's in America supporting that is just showing that they still a support of colonialism. Right. That's it. They still ready to colonize some shit. And that's based on capitalism too, man. They want private ownership of them resources over there. You know what I mean?
So what do you think is going to pop off with Taiwan? Because we've been talking about that for a year now.
Man, it look like we might be going to war, brother.
Because that's our neo-colony For real.
Yeah, that's gonna be a chip war though. You feel me? That chip, that's the war for the future. That's why everybody's trying to create their own chips right now, right? Because you got Nvidia, or what is it? Nvidia? I think what's the chip that's made out of Taiwan?
Oh yeah, they say that nobody else can make.
Right. They run everybody
trying,
but they already got the supply rolling.
Yeah, they do. But somebody's gonna get it though. They can't hide that.
So China wants Taiwan. Everybody is trying to consolidate, right? So listen. Here's the thing.
China says Taiwan belongs to them.
Yeah, the same way Israelis say Palestine belongs to them.
That's different though. That's way different.
No, I'm saying, but this is what we got going on. The same way Russia say Ukraine belongs to them. It's consolidation right now. Everybody going for their power move. It's the same thing across the board. You feel me? The high level of it, not into the complexities. Yeah, they making their final moves because everybody doing their power moves right now.
You got everybody's like, all right, we're gonna need.
They like, well, shit. If Russia go get Ukraine and become bigger, man, we about to go get China, Taiwan and become bigger. And America like, shit. Well, we got to back Israel so we can stay and maintain our power. Y'all ain't about to increase your position while we get outsized.
Oh, like that new Silk Road?
Yeah.
That they want to build?
Yeah.
Across the Gaza Strip.
And then you got the Saudis and the Eastern world, and everybody just trying to figure out what side they go back when everything goddamn gets restructured for a new world. Yeah. Bro, it's not a hard thing to see. It's a very simple playbook.
Remember Donald Trump got Morocco to recognize Israel's sovereignty?
Yeah, it was a lot of crazy stuff going on during that time too.
That's like 5D chess.
Well, because
trying to open up that trade route.
Well, yeah, because Israel, Saudi Arabia, it was about the younger prince that's taking over, and his ideas being different. So, you know, him not recognizing his father's ideology when it comes to Israel. And so when he take over, his ideas will be different. He'll just be like, man, I'm gonna do business with Israel. You know what I mean? Cut them out, bro. Y'all gotta deal with y'all gotta deal with, but we get our power over here. Man, go think about ancient kings of old times and how they structure power deals. We think about power in such a moral sense that we can't fathom that people will make these deals and people will just be used as pawns. Right. In the power game, everybody is dispensable.
Everybody's a pawn. Yeah, it's chess.
You know what I'm saying? We talking about geopolitics here.
Chess.
You feel me? A person be like 1,000 people, man. We bomb Hiroshima. We don't care about people. You know what I'm saying? People have never been, you know, non-expendable. You always, like, you can go.
Yeah.
You know how it works? You feel me? Like
the idea that they sell us so that we don't run outside killing each other every day, which is good. You know?
Well, yeah, like you can't practice. It's illegal for the individual to practice it, but on a government level, they can do what they want. They can kill people, assassinate people. They can lie. They can bribe. They can do whatever they want to. They can murder. They have a completely different set of rules, justification, and logic. Right? Completely different.
Right. For the greater good.
That's the power. That's how power operates.
Bro, you forgot this yesterday.
Oh, I knew it. Oh, y'all can't even see this.
Nah, don't you just dragged it across.
You know, I just hit with y'all with a little. This right here. I'm learning some stuff.
That's a Rashid.
I just bought like 30 books yesterday. Yeah. So yeah, man, you gotta understand the way geopolitics work, man. You know what I'm saying?
Geopolitics is like one of my favorite studies right now as well. Because there's always more to it. There's another country that has a role in some
geopolitics is super complex.
And then learning about other people's kings and leaders. That
you know why? Because like most people don't know what the FBI, CIA, and NSA and none of these organizations are doing. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's no news around that. But you know, we got all sort of different secret branches, invisible branches, and agencies of America.
Pipelines just blowing up.
Yeah.
Who did that mission?
Right. We just make movies about it and be like, this is fiction. No, this is real life. How you think they collect data? How you think that we put in, you know, we topple governments and then put in these puppet leaders and things of that nature. We control regions, influence, infrastructure.
So,
what it is.
We should start a whole like research study on that, like all of the infiltration that's been done to Africa, like really do a deep dive onto it. Russia has been talking about it the last few years. They're like, yo, the CIA, which we know. The Black Americans know that, like, I don't know, like we know the Bible for real, but
we don't be knowing. Cause we was, in the streets, bless you. In the streets, cats were never concerned with global issues, right? So, but here's the thing: when they tell you to vote though, but then you're voting in people who have power over the concern of global issues, right? So for me, I never understood that whole idea of like, you want to tell somebody to vote, but you're not educating them on the power that you're giving the people that they're voting for. Right. So it's like, no, if we're not having and it goes to a deeper conversation of like, we secede our power to those who are the masters of the world. They decide that this is their time to decide the affairs of the world for the next hundreds of years. So they zoom out. When you're talking hundreds of years, you got to zoom far out, right? You have to look at all of these different systems, how they interact with each other, depletion of resources, right? Access to information, new technology, the rollout of that, right? AI regulation, right? So they zoom all the way out because they say this planet is ours. This is how we're going to intervene over the affairs of man. We are the gods of this time. The thing is that we don't really think about it like that as melanated people. So anytime we hear them talking about intervening over global affairs, right, then we have an issue. But because we don't have a plan ourselves for the intervention of global affairs and what is the rule and order that must be in construct for this planet Earth, right, and for everybody to have a certain quality of life, right? A person can't tell you how much food and resources is needed so that this thing, right, this world that we live in operates. They can't tell you the relationships that's needed. We don't know. People don't know who they need to back as an ally.
Resources are coming from
right.
There,
we operate off emotions, right? But when I was growing up, we was always taught that there were scientists who have predictions about the world. There were scientists who would measure, okay, this is how many people in this populous area need to be alive for these resources. We was a mathematical people because we were taught that we were gods. So we would have to know the future of our planet Earth. And then we will have to set up systems and intervene and set up ideologies to rule those systems. But we so far from being gods of this planet Earth, we don't want to make any godly decisions, and we are against any godly decisions, right? Because we don't know it, we don't think that far, right? So it's like overpopulation is a good conversation to have on that. We're not gonna have it on live right now because I want to really dive in when we do.
We started at the end of the joint.
Yeah, but it's a great starter, right? Like if I go look at, Afro-Asiatic texts, they always, like I said, they always talk about the scientists who intervene over the affairs of the planet because they were the gods of this planet. So they would study, what was necessary in the future. Teach you about the past, what was going to be the knowledge of the people. They would be like, yo, this is how many people on the planet Earth in order for everybody to live peacefully and coincide with each other. If we operate within this system, this is what we see in the next 50 to 100 years. So therefore, we have to implement this. The individual does not have to understand the plans of the master because the master is trying to create a world to where an ecosystem can flow, right? And individuals benefit. So it's hard to try to take that thinking that's scaled at a planetary level and speak to people who are only localized in their own problems and issues.
Yeah, that's wild though, because just think of and I firmly believe that because even when you just look at the calendar systems we had, like you were wearing the Mayan, the Cobb is one of the Hob, the Tzolk'in calendar, and the level of study and how many generations would have had to carry on and pass that study on would have had to be for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
Our calendar today isn't based on astronomy of today. We're using a calendar that's thousands of years old.
Right, and this is
they had to study and map and time things and planetary cycles that were very long. So of course they did so here and studied the animals. That's why even a lot of colonial history talks about when they ran into natives and how they hunted and how they knew the ecosystem so well that they didn't hunt certain things out of extinction. You can only kill X amount.
Right.
So I could see the same with people
as
well.
That's the question. Like,
patterns and stuff.
Then that's why I keep getting people I keep asking them, what does your future look like? What does the future look like? Yeah. Like, intervene over your own affairs. Where do you want this planet to go to?
do it on a scientific level.
You know what I'm saying?
Different though. Like they calculate and
where do you want this planet to go to? Where do you want us to be in 100 years?
Yeah.
Right? Like, or do you want to just be a passenger? If you want to just be a passenger, fine. But if you go be a passenger, you have to understand that the driver is a conqueror. The driver thinks a certain way. The driver has a certain nature. They go drive a certain way. He might be crazy on the gas, doing a little too much, put it in turbo sports mode all the time. You know what I'm saying? He might be an off-road ATV person, might get into some crashes. Like, if you don't want to be the driver, you know what I'm saying, or have a destination for where the drive takes you, then you at the mercy. But instead you be like, no, bro, we're not going left, we're going right. You know what I'm saying? Nope, we're going this way. We going to the road less travel. We going up, we going in. You have to think about if you are the master of your world, and I'm talking about Earth. Let's use the word Earth more. We have to use more Earth. We don't use the word Earth like almost ever.
Make it
right.
Touch it.
Like, this is your Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and how many people care about the affairs of the Earth on a high level? Not many, right? But so when you start talking about so-called climate change, right? You start talking about geopolitics, right? You start talking about, global economic systems, right? You start talking about all these different things. You're dealing with the Earth affairs, right? So if I put you in position over the Earth, you're now the CEO of Earth, and I put these high level things to you, right? And it's like, all right, what decision are you going to make? Now, you're going to make one decision that may be detrimental to a people, right? But then you might have to make this decision that saves 100 million people while crushing 200,000.
Yeah.
Can you make that decision?
Right.
Should that decision be made? Right? Or do you allow the natural flow of events to occur? Those 200 million people get sacrificed for these 200,000 people.
Yeah.
Who gets to make that decision? Right. See, these are not things that most people don't want those. And this is why it will have to be a scientific based decision to do calculations so that it's mathematical and not emotional. Right. And so this is the idea that the black gods were mathematical. Right. They would have to make these decisions not from a standpoint of emotional calculation. Right. It would have to be mathematical. What is the best thing for man? And they would have to think 25,000 years out into the future. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not something that most people can fathom. Right. So these are not conversations that's had with the average person. They bore you with local issues because you do not want to deal with Earth affairs.
Right. There are calendars that do exist with, again, cycles that are longer than our human recorded history. I mean, like, the sun cycle. Why are there calendars, ancient calendars, that calculate the solar cycle, the 25,000-year solar cycle? Mm-hmm. How much did they study to know that?
See, the 25,000 years was based on, all right, so... It's
24 and some shit.
There are, number one, there are cosmic cycles that man utilize. So synodic cycles, monadic cycles utilize the sun and the moon, but also planetary cycles that come around after a certain convergence, right? Based on planetary alignment, right? So therefore, man would have these cycles that he would operate in because he understood that as the universe turned, man's thinking in the hemisphere of his thoughts would turn as well. So we was taught that knowledge expires every 25,000 years and a new superior knowledge reigns over the planet Earth, right? So a certain thinking is superior, but then it expires. All knowledge has an expiration to a superior knowledge, and we see that in science all day long.
That's one thing I like about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Every time I hear about stuff, it's always in alignment with things that I studied separately.
But see, this is
sciences that I study independently.
This is why I love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because when I started doing independent studies on completely different subjects, it'll always reinforce his. It was never contradictory, and I would look for it. I wasn't trying to compliment. I was like, maybe I'm so indoctrinated in this. I would like so studying everything, and it'd be like, bro, it allowed me to see deeper into it because you can only see a surface level. Most people don't get past message of the black man. They don't make it to theology of time. You know what I'm saying? So theology of time is a completely different. That was what he did in his later years in the 70s. It was a series of lectures, right? That was deep. He started talking about Mars. He started talking about the planets. He talked about universal affairs, right? See, you got to think about, you talk about this cast that you talk about street affairs, you know what I'm saying? State affairs, right? Country affairs, right? You get to planetary affairs. Then you get to universal affairs. Then you go into dimensional affairs. You know what I'm saying? You start to multiverse, and you start to just draw all the way out. What type of God are you? You a local God, a state God, a federal God? You know what I'm saying? Tribal God? It depends. We all different.
All the alien talk is in line with his, his teachings as well.
Yeah, completely.
What we found with Mars and the pictures,
man,
the ships.
His economic blueprint and program was on point for a man who didn't have no economic degree.
Yeah,
come on, man. Y'all be playing with the gods like we don't be knowing, like, all right, whatever. You feel me?
God given, though. We are given that. Like, I attribute it to like a level of clairvoyance where if you can just free yourself for a little bit, really tap in, and that's where the knowledge of self comes in. You know yourself enough that you can tune or attenuate yourself, right?
Man, they getting a whole high level. I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all getting a whole high level. I ain't even spit this on high level yet, but I be saving some of these. You feel me?
But you become able to communicate these frequencies or ideas that spark change, or your mind just operates on that frequency. And you become a filter of those experiences.
Somebody say colored people always complain. Ain't nobody complaining. What are you talking about? You the only one in here complaining.
He said colored people.
Oh, yeah, that's a nigga, man.
He said
that's a colored people, man. What are you talking about? That's the stupidest shit on the planet Earth. My grandma used to say that shit, colored people.
Yeah, man, but your grandma read she had to see it every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was just old school.
That's
too,
what I mean. Like,
it
was all on every sign, colored water fountain and all that.
Yeah, but it's we don't do no complaining. Life is good. First of all, we gods. Like, we just exercising our godhood. It's like if y'all was reading this conversation in the book, you would be mind blown. Sometimes you have to imagine a person conversation as if you're reading the book, right? And this is why I said that yesterday, because a lot of times we don't appreciate things that's live. Right, we don't appreciate things in the moment. Right,
and not
fast consumption.
The level to even understand, like the people who couldn't have the conversation with you may not be able to grab that as fast. So, like you're saying, but to be able to see it and comprehend it in other steps would be very conducive to the way they understand it. Because, we go.
It's all good, man. Listen, man, I'll see y'all in Toronto, Boston, New York. Go to 19keys.com/events. Hit me in the DM. You feel me? And listen, we got a lot of things I'm going to be announcing, rolling out in the next couple of weeks. So just stay tuned. Make sure that you're in the broadcast channel. You know what I mean? Make sure you stay locked in. Go to Crown Society. You know what I mean? Get your crowns. We got some new ones that's going to be dropping. Got the glasses that's dropping. It's a whole lot of level intervention into the affairs of the universe, man. Come tap in with the guys. Yeah. Peace.